Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, welcome to another episode of the 94 Feet Podcast. This is your boy, Big Zeke. I'm in the building with my brother, Kesey.
What's good, my good people?
I'm also in the building with my brother, Dre.
What's good, my brothers? How's your week been going, man?
Man, this is going pretty good. This has been a trying week for America as being black in America, but, you know, it's, we move on as black people do.
Stay safe, my people. It has been crazy. It seems like every time we wake up, there's something different, there's something new, and black folks are once again facing some unprecedented trials. So we stand with our black brothers and sisters. Be safe out there, people.
Be safe, my good people.
Be safe.
So I want to start the show off by saying shout out to LaMarcus Aldridge on his retirement.
Congrats, LA. Congratulations.
I also want to say he's retiring due to an irregular heartbeat.
Shout out to the doctors that found that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the doctors because, I mean, all those playing and to figure that out.
Yeah.
Man, that's something serious to be caught at the right time. You know what I mean?
And
like
it happens at a really bad time, too. To be honest with you, it's having a really bad time because even if he didn't win the NBA Finals, he would at least got that feeling to be in it. And he hasn't had that in a while. So,
but I mean, it wasn't guaranteed they was getting to the finals now. You know.
There we go. LeBron's in the West.
I ain't saying nothing about LeBron.
LeBron's in the West.
Here we go. Now, when I bring him up, it's a problem.
LaMarcus Aldridge, I think, it's unfortunate that his career has to end like this, but I also think that he was a great contributor to the sport of basketball for as long as he was. I mean, it sucks that him and Dame couldn't deliver a championship to Portland.
They never will.
I don't think they will either, but...
Never will. Come on, man. You stating obvious.
But I also think that LaMarcus Aldridge, I think he missed his opportunity, I guess if you consider an all-time great.
He did miss his opportunity. I don't say he missed his opportunity because I think that he's one of those guys with 7-time All-Star. He put in his city, he put his time in. As far as across the NBA, that's something different. I don't think he's going to be part of the 50's greatest players. I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but I think he's done enough to get recognized in his city.
Whoa. Now you're going too far.
Come on, man.
You think he's not going to be a Hall of Famer?
No, he's not going to be a Hall of Famer.
Wait.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you. I am dead serious.
Listen.
These are facts.
I'm looking at your face and you look serious.
Because I am serious.
Listen, I don't think I could disagree with a statement more than was said today.
50 greatest players?
Listen.
No, I'm talking about the Hall. You said a Hall of Famer.
Listen, I don't.
How are you going to be part of the 50 greatest players and then not be a Hall of Famer?
I disagree with you because I believe the 50 greatest players is a harder list to make than the Hall of Fame.
It is a harder list.
That's a harder list to make.
He can make the Hall of Famers list, but I don't think he's a 50 greatest players. Because I can name 50 players have better careers than him.
I can name several. Should we try it?
No.
Should we try it?
We don't have time.
We don't have time for that. But what I'm saying is,
and me stumbling over 75 of them.
There's a lot of players who are great that won't make the 50 greatest players. There's a lot of players
guarantee there's
that
a lot
are great that won't make the 50 greatest players.
The thing about the 50 greatest players,
I can name about 10 of them, but I won't. There's a lot.
You know what? One day we will sit down and go over this 50 greatest players list because the 50 greatest player list, I believe, was contribute to like 50 years of the NBA.
50 years of the NBA, I believe that. But when you think about players that made that list, if you're going to recreate 50 greatest players, that means you have to go back and edit the list.
So, let's just talk about this real quick. So, in another 50 years, you saying LaMarcus Aldridge going to be part of that list?
I did not say that. You're not listening to me. What I'm saying is he doesn't need to be a 50 greatest player to be a Hall of Famer.
Okay, I will agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
I will agree with that, especially the way they do the Hall of Fame now.
What does that mean? You keep saying that, but what does that mean?
I mean that when you talk about a Hall of Famer, you're talking about a guy, to me, a Hall of Famer guy who had a prestige career and a guy who has, when you talk about the game of basketball in the NBA, his name is brought up. I may not know who a person is, but my pops know who he is. My uncle know who he is. My grandma know who he is. But when you talk about somebody, but now I feel like when you talk about like a Hall of Famer, they just kind of giving that away. They just kind of throwing your name up there. Hey, this was a nice guy. He made some type of contribution to the NBA. Let's put him in the Hall of Fame.
That's not what they're doing because there's a lot of players that don't even got the Hall of Famer tag yet.
Name somebody who don't have the Hall of Fame tag yet, who should have the Hall of Fame tag yet.
Well, first of all, before you even go there, I'm going to remind America that Vlade Divac is in the Hall of Fame.
He deserves to be in there.
On what account?
Because
he played for the greatest franchise and was surrounded by the greatest players.
He was a I don't want to say a critical. He was a significant part of that dynasty. When you talk, when you talk about
and you're a basketball fan.
Yes, when you talk about let's say you talk about the greatest Lakers of all time, he's on that list. When you talk about like the greatest Lakers of all time, he's on that list.
He is the greatest Laker of all time.
He's on that list of like when you talk about the greatest Lakers of all time.
Is that water in your bottle? Is that water in your bottle? Is that Everclear?
It might be mixed with something, but that doesn't change the fact that he's still part of that list. Now, when you talk about, I didn't say he's the greatest. I said he's a significant part of that. When you talk about that dynasty, as far as you talk about the Lakers.
Okay. But okay, you said he's not a Hall of Famer. You thinking he's not a Hall of Famer is what you're saying, right?
But Marcus Aldridge, yes, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Because it's some pretty good players who's not even on that list. So you might have a point when I sit and think about it.
No, he doesn't. Don't even give him the
I'm sitting here thinking, and you think about some of the players that's not on there. Would you...
Like who? You have to say like who.
So would you say... Is Chris Webber on there yet?
Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I don't believe it's on.
Let's see.
He might be up for this year.
Let's see. So this year, 2020, you got Kobe, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett. I'm just going to go through the NBA male players. We got Charles Chuck Cooper. We got Vlade Divac. We got Bobby Jones, Sidney Moncrief. These are all people that have made it. We have Ray Allen, Mo Cheeks, Grant Hill. Grant Hill was injured most of his career. How are we judging him from the Hall of Fame?
He was not injured most of his
career. Who wasn't?
Towards the end. But Grant Hill had some great years.
Okay, first of all,
let's not get it twisted now.
I think you have it twisted.
No, I think you have it twisted today.
You have it twisted.
You better put some respect on Grant Hill name
Grant
today.
Hill. Unless you're going back to, was it Duke? Did he play for Duke?
He played for Duke.
Unless you're going back to Duke and the Detroit Pistons, the first 4 or 5 seasons that he played, he was injured most of his Orlando years.
So here's the thing.
No. Let me finish. Come on.
I'm going to go to your point. I'm going to say something to your point.
He was injured most of his Orlando years, which was his... Go ahead.
I'm going to say something to your point.
And I'm a Grant Hill fan. But what
it sure don't sound like it.
So what I'm saying is, how can we justify Grant Hill and Vlade Divac, but we don't give LA the respect of the Hall of Fame? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, here's the difference.
Y'all got my voice pitchy now. Like, y'all make it sound like I'm an LA super fan.
Here's the thing about Grant Hill. Because he has it's very interesting about people like Grant Hill. Because Grant Hill career ended because of injuries. But Grant Hill, his first 6, maybe 7 seasons, he was probably one of the greatest players. Hold your horses, because I'm finna say something right here.
Go ahead.
Don't make it so somebody get slapped.
He was a
Michael Jordan. He was a walkout.
Exactly. He was one of the guys who was compared to Michael Jordan when he first came into the league, because he was that type of player. He was very dynamic. He can shoot. He can dunk on you. He was one of those guys. Now
he was compared to Michael Jordan.
Okay,
but to me,
hold on a second though.
Watching Grant Hill, he was more compared to like a Scottie Pippen.
Now, hold on a second though. Compare him and also somebody named that we bring up because of what he can do, but he also had a similar career. Tracy McGrady. Yeah, both those guys have very similar careers.
And Tracy McGrady's in the Hall of Fame,
and he deserves to be. Even though his career ended like it did.
Tracy McGrady
had some great years, man.
Tracy McGrady.
And Grant Hill did too.
Especially in the playoffs.
Grant Hill did too.
Tracy McGrady is a highlight reel. Yes.
So is Grant Hill.
Has he ever brought any? Has Tracy? And I'm gonna use your own arguments against you.
Go ahead,
clowns. Has Tracy? Love you both. Love you both. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Has Tracy McGrady ever made any team better?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. None of. He has never been out of the first round. Where's the lie?
He made every team he was been to better.
Toronto never made the playoffs with Tracy McGrady. Lies. Next. Orlando barely made the playoffs with Tracy McGrady.
Houston.
Next. Other than him scoring 11 points or however many that was in so many minutes, Tracy McGrady is a human highlight reel, but none of those teams saw any significant impact in the terms of basketball, playoffs, or championship. Tracy McGrady was a stat stuffer, just like Blake Griffin, like you both said. Tracy McGrady is a highlight reel. Yes, like you both said. All I'm saying is Tracy McGrady is in the Hall of Fame, which he deserves to be. Mm-hmm. But all I'm saying is, can we say, other than popularity, is his impact to his team, was it better than LaMarcus Aldridge?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you why.
I didn't say it wasn't. I just wanted to know what y'all thought.
Because Tracy McGrady, unlike LaMarcus Aldridge, because this is what we're really talking about here. These guys, Tracy McGrady and Grant, were the leader of their teams, and they really didn't have any help.
Actually, Vince Carter was the leader of the team, wasn't he?
Of what team?
Of what team?
Of the Raptors.
He wasn't known for the Raptors as much as he was
known for New Jersey Nets.
Tracy McGrady was very much known.
New Jersey.
No, his Orlando career.
No, I'm talking about Vince Carter.
Oh, Vince Carter? No, Vince Carter was known for Toronto.
Tracy McGrady was also known for Toronto because they thought they were building a dynamic duo. They thought they were building a dynamic duo with the Cousins.
If they would have got prime Tracy McGrady and prime Vince,
oh yeah,
that would have been a problem in Toronto. But they never got to make it there because they split up when they were younger.
So I don't disagree with T-Mac being in the Hall, but all I'm saying is T-Mac and Vlade both make a compelling argument for LaMarcus Aldridge because Portland before Dame, who was Portland building their franchise around?
LaMarcus Aldridge.
Okay.
You know, here's the thing. And here on 94 Feed, we normally don't do stats. We do more of gameplay and opinions here. Mm-hmm. But I think that if you look up these three guys, LaMarcus Aldridge, Lolly Divi, and Tracy McGrady, even Grant Hill, you can make an argument for those guys being like all NBA teams.
Okay, can I just say this since you brought that up? I just want everyone to know from 2005 until he retired in 2013, Tracy McGrady averaged under 15 points. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, Grant Hill. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. He did some damage in Orlando, so he had 8 straight seasons where he averaged under 15 points per game
before that,
from the 2005 season on up. I just want folks to know that. Before that, he signed with Orlando during the 2000-2001 season. Listen to this garbage, okay? Since y'all say Orlando was his best year.
I didn't say Orlando was his best year. We talking about Tracy McGrady.
No, we're going back to Grant Hill. Don't try to clean it up now.
I didn't say Grant Hill's greatest years was in Orlando.
I didn't even say that either.
We were talking about Tracy McGrady.
Here we go. America, when you hear the tape back, you go say, it's lying.
No, we were talking about Tracy McGrady, right? As you can see, me and him were on the same page about it.
You're sitting next to each other.
You've been outvoted.
Okay, fine. So Grant
everybody know Grant Hill was known for Detroit days.
Grant Hill, when he first signed with the Magic, with that big, ridiculous contract, his first season, 13.8 points is what he averaged.
What did he average in Detroit?
You ready? First season, 19. Second season, 20. Third season, 21. Fourth season, 21. 21, 25, 13 when he went to Orlando. So the point I'm making, Tracy McGrady, if we want to talk about explosive, it was really his Detroit years. Grant Hill, thank you. None of his Orlando years make an argument that Grant Hill should be a Hall of Famer. That's all I'm saying. Because if we want to talk stats, which we really don't do, if you look at LA stats, his Portland years suggest that perhaps he should get considered for the Hall of Fame.
You did not change my mind. He's still not a Hall of Famer. He still is.
He's not a 50 greatest player, but he's
not a 50 greatest player, but he's a possible Hall of Famer.
No, I'm not giving it
to him. Does Portland retire his jersey?
Portland retires his jersey.
In Sports America, I am not an LA fan, but I am a guy that likes to be fair. Like, let's be fair in sports. Like, we're clowning LeBron all the time because he's lost in the finals. But if he won 6 championships, people will be talking about how great he is as Jordan.
Greatest player of all time. Yeah.
I believe that. So all I'm saying is let's be fair with this thing. LaMarcus Aldridge.
Okay. Let me just check this again.
Go ahead.
This is more about the Hall of Fame and how they induct people rather than it's about LaMarcus Aldridge.
Can I say this? But the topic is LaMarcus Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge averaged more points and rebounds than Grant Hill in every season of his career.
That's not fair.
The first.
That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. I'm gonna tell you why that's not fair.
LaMarcus is a 7-footer,
and he played different. He did different
positions.
Different positions.
So wait. So the Hall of Fame says, okay, you're in because you're a center. You're in because you're a forward. You're in because you're a guard. Is that what y'all saying?
No, the Hall of Fame says you're in because you're a top caliber at the power forward. You're in because you're a top.
Is LaMarcus Aldridge not?
No. But yeah, think about the power forwards before him.
Okay. I get it. Tim Duncan,
not his generation. I'm talking about
Dennis Rodman, better.
No, not even those guys. I'm talking about guys in his generation. Guys in I'm talking about his generation all together, and like his draft class, which is another subject for another day. But it's one of those things where like that is where I'm like, this guy didn't really play up to par. So that's why I'm like, I will give you this, Dre. He needs his jersey retired because, like I said before, he did a really good job of representing that city. He was there for that city. He stuck around as long as possible for that city.
Yeah.
So yes, he should represent. He should have his jerseys in a wrapper. But as far as Hall of Fame, no, the system is messed up. I don't think he should be a Hall of Famer. And to be really frank with you, a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame should be in the Hall of Fame.
Is Tracy McGrady a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Is Grant Hill a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Is Vince Carter a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Is Chris Middleton a Hall of Famer?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's too early in his career.
He's too early in his career. You know what I'm saying? You got to see how it goes down.
He ain't had enough years. He's still playing.
He's still playing. Y'all are backtracking worse than the hookers in church, man. Y'all are backtracking worse than people that... Okay, I'm gonna stop.
You don't go that far?
We agree.
We agree.
You gonna put us in the category with some hookers?
I'm not putting you in the category with hookers.
Hey man, back in the day.
You're backtracking.
Anyways,
you are backtracking, fellas. That's all I'm saying.
We were backtracking. We were backtracking. We gonna backtrack out of this topic because we gonna agree to disagree.
And the church is open to the black sliders. So if anyone took that wrong,
final question:
the church is open to the black.
Retires jersey or not?
Yes.
Retires jersey or not?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes.
Hall of Fame or not? LaMarcus Aldridge.
I'll say it no.
Yes.
Okay.
You say yes.
I'm going to say yes.
And I say yes.
I say no.
Next topic. Sheesh. Can y'all believe that the three of us do a podcast together? Like, you would think we hate each other because our basketball opinions are so different, but that's what makes this great.
Well, speaking of notable names, notable players, what do these guys have in common? LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell. They're all injured. And they're all superstars that are injured to their team. So my question for you guys, because this has been something that's been kind of being whispered around the NBA, are we concerned about the amount of injuries going into the playoffs?
That's a good one. I think it is. I think it's a very big concern because, as you can see, when those players are out, those teams have some difficult times. You know what I'm saying?
They do suffer.
Like, even with LeBron James on LA, they still had a tough time without AD.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even though Brooklyn still has Kyrie Irving, they are having some tough games. You know what I mean? It ain't as easy when James Harden is running the show.
Well, what Brooklyn is different is because they have three superstars. I think that teams that like the Lakers, that really hurt them.
Even if you go back to like Klay Thompson. that team is struggling.
That team is struggling.
Even though Steph is putting up some great numbers, when those type of caliber players are not playing, those teams suffer in some areas.
So go through the list again. Who's the first player?
LeBron James.
Clearly, he carries the weight in LA.
We all know that.
Too much on his body. The second
one. Kevin Durant.
Clearly, he carries a lot of weight until they went and stole James Harden from Houston. Next.
The next name is James Harden.
James Harden. Not too sure what his injury is, so I'm actually taking a little back about that.
It's hamstring.
Hammy. Okay, next one.
And then Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis he got injured after LeBron, but let's be honest, other than those two on the Lakers, they were LA. Next.
Yeah. And then we got Donovan Mitchell, who just recently got injured.
Man, we all saw that. I think that was just a freak accident. It
was. I mean, it happens. But
So you said it earlier, man. What a lot of these players have in common is that they're superstars.
Yeah.
And all of them, every single one of them, their team relies on them so much. Yeah. And they're playing a lot of minutes. These cats are playing 30 into the 40s. There were games where I saw Mitchell on the court the whole time. Yeah. LeBron, when AD went down, it was literally just LeBron. Folks were like, okay, here we go again. We need to get some help. Dennis Schroeder's not doing what he's doing. Kyle Kuzma's not doing what he's doing. So I think these players have taken on that role of just being not only just the team leader and the superstar of their team, but you both are ball players. You both played ball back in the day. You tend to play ball now. But what we understand is your body has a lot of basketball miles on it. These cats have played ball continuously. And we like to blame the bubble or the season is started too soon, Zeke, but don't they ball in the off season anyway?
Yes and no.
Don't they play pickup basketball and train with each other anyway?
Younger guys might do it, not older guys. Like LeBron James spends like $1 million on his body. Yeah. But it's less basketball, but more training and more weightlifting and stuff like that. I think that, I agree with you guys. It is a lot on their bodies, and superstars do take on a lot of weight. That is one thing to consider. But with the I can't think of the word right now. What I want to say, but the compressed season that we've had, with 75 games, we're having a lot of back-to-backs and a lot of 3-4 games in a week, and that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of miles on the body, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, I think going into the playoffs is one of those things where we have to. I would expect to see a lot of guys being sat going into the playoffs. If you don't have to be there.
I disagree.
If you don't have to be there.
The records are too close for that to happen.
I disagree. And I agree with you. I think this postseason coming up and this end of this regular season, they are going to be so close that I don't think anybody can take off some games like they normally would towards the end of the season.
Oh, okay.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because LA is in a position where they could possibly be playing in the pool game.
Yeah.
If they keep losing games without their superstars back.
Yeah. I agree with what you're saying, but let's look at, a lot of people give him a hard time, but we remember when Kawhi Leonard got the dirty injury. When old boy was it
Zaza
Pachulia stepped on his ankle maliciously, and it had Kawhi think about basketball totally different. So a lot of people are upset at Leonard for taking control of his career. Sports America, you may have to fact check me on this. I don't think Kawhi has played back-to-back in 3 seasons. I had him on my fantasy team last year, and every other game he was out because he was resting.
Yeah, I had to drop him.
I remember you dropped him.
I dropped him because of that.
I remember. And so what I'm saying is, as sports fans, we hate to see that. But Kawhi, he's protecting his body. He's the only player, a top superstar, if people still consider him that, that has not gone down with an injury.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
But he has taken off quite a few games. So at the end of the day, his team is still suffering too, though.
His team is suffering, but his body is not.
So, okay. So with that being said, what takes precedence here? Is it What takes precedence?
My thing is
it the body? Do you take care of the body, your career, or because your goal is to get the championship? The Clippers is one of those teams who can make a championship run.
Because my thing is, when players like that take off, you take it off, and you making all of this money, and you got people who are paying just to come see you, and it might not even be guaranteed you gonna play that night.
Oh, I had Golden State tickets. Side note, I had Golden State tickets against the Bucks. No Steph, no Clay, no KD. I'm like, what in the world is going on? I sold those tickets because it was a waste. I get it.
And to make it so bad, when you buy those type of tickets for, what are those games called?
Single games.
No.
Marquee games.
Yeah, marquee games.
Mm-hmm.
When you go into marquee games, you looking for that. You paying a higher price just to watch them play, and you didn't pay. Say the ticket normally is $89.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Just say $80. No, just say $89.
$181.
But if KD and Steph and Clay were in the building, you looking at about $189.
That's how much the ticket was, America. $181.
All right, we get it. You had good seats. You were sitting in the nosebleeds.
Well, you had them too. We were season ticket holders together, but continue, Keith.
But that goes to show they are hurting their fan base at the same time.
Okay.
And without the fans, who are these players?
Hold on. Hold on a second, though. Because
the fans are paying for this.
The fans are paying for this, but that doesn't mean you control my body.
We're not saying we control your body.
That's exactly
what I'm saying. Play lighter minutes.
I agree with that.
Play lighter minutes in a game, but
I agree.
But
don't totally miss the game. Is my whole point.
You can't see us, America. We have a good time on this podcast. But Zeke, no. Before you go, I have to.
Go ahead.
I have to battle that because you're talking about what the fans play to see, what the pay to see. I get it. We're all fans. There have been games that we've gone to together. When the star wasn't playing, we got walked out of the second quarter.
Well, first of all, you walked out because you're dramatic, but I let it be. I let it be.
Wow.
Because hold on a second here. I'm going to say something to both of y'all here. Because Giannis has been out for the last 5 to 6 games. He just came back. The Bucks are in that top 5, one of those top 5 seeds.
Top 3.
Top 3. Mm-hmm. I don't mind him sitting out because we're going to need him for the playoffs.
Exactly.
So I don't mind him playing less minutes
because we're
just sitting out is a problem to me.
Now, from a spectator point of view, I understand because when I pay my money, how much was some tickets? $189.
$189.
Dre will never forget. But the point is that once you pay that money, you do expect to see Giannis. You do expect to see Chris Middleton. You do expect to see whoever the superstar is. I'm not gonna disrespect my man Middleton, but
the one that you're not gonna put in the Hall of Fame.
Well, the one that you said wasn't an All-Star.
First of all, he's still playing.
He's still
playing. But the point is that, I understand from a perspective's point of view that, I want to see these guys play. That's what I pay my money for. But I'm also understanding that to be like, you know what? If he's not 100%, have a seat. If you need a rest, have a seat because Kawhi won't do this in the playoffs.
LaMarcus Aldridge played close to 15 seasons. I'm saying close to because I really don't know the
played
actual
15
year.
seasons.
And when he retired abruptly, he said, it's time for me to start taking care of my body and my family.
Yeah.
We as fans could care less about these players. I'm not saying us, but Sports America. When KD went injured, all people were saying, hey, KD, you're hurting my fantasy team. No one cared. The Raptors fans cheered when KD got hurt, and Drake faked like he wasn't happy that his pathway to the championship was easier now.
Mm-hmm.
NBA players deserve the right to protect their body. Shame on Adam Silver. Shame on the Players Union for rushing the schedule that's causing these players to get injured. So, yes, the schedule's part of it, but also, man, it's just their body. They're carrying too much of a load. And that's going to continue to happen in the super team era when you got the KDs and the Kyries and the Hardens of the world all on one team. Now LeBron has to score 50. Now Mitchell, unless he passes off the Joker, now Mitchell has to.
So what are you saying then is they shouldn't have the big teams like that, and they should get more of a balanced roster?
I totally agree, 110%. Giannis, I don't know if people have been paying attention, but this has been an interesting season for our own Greek Freak. He has missed a lot of games
compared to what we're used to. He has missed a lot.
But
like I
games.
said before, I don't mind as long as he's healthy going into the playoffs.
I don't disagree with that. But let's remember, the playoffs, we haven't even seen what the NBA schedule looks like yet. In the bubble, they were playing every other game.
Yeah.
That's a lot on your body. Plus practice.
But you guys are talking about people who make millions of dollars for doing this.
I agree.
But yeah, you got people who lay concrete out there for a couple $100 a week.
Well, if you had a choice of,
I'm just saying labor. I'm saying labor-wise.
Labor-wise, I get where you're coming from, but also
can they take a day
all
off?
three of us.
Can they take a day off because they hurt? No, because guess what? They got mouths to feed.
Hey, pertaining to your point, all three of us, if we was in here making millions and millions of dollars, hey man, I'm not coming in today. Why? I just don't feel like it.
Man, you can set me up at home for $1 million. I'm recording that podcast.
I hear what you're saying, and you're right. On a labor scale, compared to a guy who's working 9 to 5, I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work because if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. And it's one of those things where they do have it is a site of privilege there. But I guess my thing is when you talk about even teams that like the example Dre brought up when he was talking about you were saying like people don't care, like fans don't care about your body. We don't care about that stuff like that.
Do you remember when LeBron got sorry to cut you off? Do you remember when LeBron had the injury with Miami and they had to carry them out? Remember I think he had
finals.
He was having muscle spasms.
Oh yeah.
People, women especially, that crucified him because they compared it to. I'm not going to say it, but they compare and they crucify him.
Pains and labor.
Yeah,
and
I'm like, but you're not an athlete. We're not undermining what happens in a woman's body or even players, but people, even men, sports fans were all over LeBron, like walk it off.
And
listen, have you ever had a Charlie horse? You can't even walk off the Charlie horse.
I'm going to tell you like this.
You can't even walk off that.
When I went to college and we first started having two-a-days, you would know the pain that he was in.
Even with that,
it's a different type of pain than what people think it
that's
is.
what I'm saying.
Okay, hold on a second. Time out. Because you brought this college stuff up, and I know you. I've been knowing you for a long time.
This is Zeke and Kesey.
I'm just saying, you do your 2 a day.
So
your body is hurting.
Well, while they do their 2 a day, I'm gonna do my thing over here. Y'all go ahead. Y'all can't see this Sports America.
Oh my God, this man over here, this gambling. He over here doing. So what I'm saying is that once you talk about college doing 2 a days. After them 2 a days, did you or did you not have a drink and maybe some partying going on afterwards?
He was a model student.
I plead the fifth.
Exactly. You plead the fifth.
He was a model student in college.
Listen, I went to college. I did my 2 a days. I went to class. And not to mention, you still got conditioning training too, besides your practices.
Wait, time out. Time out.
It's a lot that these players
do. You went to class? No, I'm just kidding.
See, I didn't throw no shade. He was throwing shade.
No.
I got a degree. I got a degree.
No, I get what you guys, I get what you all are saying. But at what point is the league accountable to the health of these players?
I agree with you.
At what point?
But my thing is, it's not the league, it's the owners. That's where it goes to. Because the owner is the one who is signing these contracts, giving these negotiations in their contracts.
Well, I think it's
like you said, Kawhi took control of his career by telling, look, I'm going to come to LA Clippers, but I'm going to need this. I'm going to need this. I'm going to need that too as well.
I was thinking it was part of his contract. Hey, when I want to sit out, I'm going to sit out.
Well, I mean, part of this, a lot of people gave.
I was going to let it ride. I was going to let it ride.
I'm going to have a reaction to your spit. But no, a lot of people hated on our man's Greg Popovich for resting players.
Yeah.
A lot of people hated on him. Look, LA was rested. Tim Duncan was rested. Kawhi was rested. Parker was rested. So the NBA either needs to go back to their scheduling of. Oh, I remember we were season tickets of the Bucks together, and back then the Bucks would play every 3 to 4 games. They would have a break, and if you're not giving players these breaks, it's adding to the mileage. They're flying all around the world. They're practicing, and you just have freak accidents. Donovan Mitchell, unfortunately, in my opinion, was a freak accident, and there's just a lot to.
But
consider.
I think they adjusted the schedules a little bit this year, though, didn't they?
They
They're playing the same team in the same week, right?
All they did was combine the schedule, kind of compress it, and then it's fewer games, but it's only 6 fewer or 7 fewer. So I mean, when you talk about who fault this is for these injuries, is it would you say it's the owners? Would you say it's the players that they're not controlling their body? I mean, or is it nobody to blame?
But also, you got to know, as a player, you know what you signed up for, right?
Come on, bro.
When you
not fair.
When you signed that contract, okay, listen.
That's not fair. You're a teacher right now. And y'all arguing, not you per se, but teachers are arguing to go back to work right now because it's not safe. And I'm air quoting safe. That's not fair.
I'm not even going to go there with you.
You don't, but I'm just saying.
Because I respect all my colleagues out there. You know what I mean?
I respect them all, too.
Shout out to all our educators out
unions.
there.
I'm an educator myself. But right now, what I'm saying is the point is, to bring it back home, right now, wow.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Right now, teachers and the teachers union have a problem with the return to work policy. So how come NBA players can't have the same problem?
They don't have
because as a teacher, your starting salary is $46,000 a year.
So what you're saying is y'all was getting paid $46 million. You in the classroom.
So we have a party. We have a party.
Hey, y'all, pizza party today.
So what you saying is these NBA players shut up and dribble.
Not shut up and dribble, but at the same time, LeBron James makes I'm just saying, like, figure-wise,
a lot of money.
It's probably like $100,000 a minute or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, he makes a lot.
That's a lot of money.
He makes a lot
for somebody to be sitting out. You know what I mean?
Okay, let me ask you this question. Then
he's still getting that money even if he's sitting out.
Okay, so let me ask you this question then. Do we want these guys to sit out, or do we want these guys to be ready for the playoffs? Because you can't have both.
How come you can't? Because all these teams are doing of the injured players. All of their teams are in good standings right now. They risk losing nothing other than the number one spot.
Okay, hold on a second here. I will say this. I gave a short list of names here.
Listen.
I gave a short list of names here. The only people who are should be really rushing to come back. I don't think nobody on this list that I named should be rushing to come back because LeBron James and Anthony Davis are capable of taking their team from playing tournament to playoffs to NBA finals.
This is an old tweet, but this was from 2018 to solidify Keith's point. LeBron James in one game made in 2018 $467,000 per game.
Mm-hmm. How much?
$467,000. This was in 2018. This is a tweet from 2018. One quarter, $117,000 per quarter. And it says, we're good. We're good on top. And it says 9.7K per minute. So, I feel you.
So he made $10,000.
This was back in 18. It's probably a lot more now.
I'm just saying, and that's not even including endorsements and all of that, too, because I'm pretty sure Nike got him cut.
Cut him
we ain't even going to go there.
He ain't got to go there.
But I'm just saying.
Because
I'm just saying, though, even at $10,000 a minute,
mm-hmm.
all he got to do is play 4 minutes in a game, and he make more than a teacher makes in a year.
But you're asking a competitor.
I'm just saying. I'm just giving. Come on, stay with me.
I'm saying what you.
I agree. Teachers need to be some of the highest paid people in America.
But we're teaching all of these athletes to get where they at.
Yeah, they're making it hard for us sometimes.
And some of them don't make it easy.
I agree with y'all. Like, I agree with y'all. Like, I would, if teachers were paid way better, maybe the education system would be totally different. But going back to NBA and my original answer to this question, like, we're talking about these guys who are injured, and Some will have substantial injuries. Like KD just got injured like 2 hours ago. So it's one of them things where I want to say I don't mind if you're going to take care of your body, take care of your body all the way. If LeBron James and Anthony Davis have to be out until the end of the season, they have to be out to the end of the season.
But I get the injury part. I'm talking about when they're just sitting out.
Okay, so you're talking about like Kawhi Leonard.
You're talking about just resting guys.
Like resting players.
Resting players.
Well, maybe
so you don't agree with resting players at all.
You agree with resting players at all?
So the Bucks are 67-13.
Okay.
It's the final game of the season. And we want to rest Giannis, Holiday, and Middleton. You have a problem with that.
I'm going to tell Holiday, Giannis, and Middleton.
Give me 10 minutes.
You're going to play tonight, but just go out there and take it easy. You know what I mean?
So you're going to be like Stan Van Gundy and cause Derrick Rose a major injury. You're going to run your players into the ground.
I didn't say
which is what he does.
What did I say? Did I say run with it? I
said
said just go out there and take it easy.
Hold on a
because
second.
your fans are paying their money to come see you play tonight.
Okay, hold on.
Somebody, that one kid that might go to that game was coming just to see him play 1 minute.
Okay, hold on a second now. Now, when you're talking about. See, here's the thing. You can't tell a competitor. You can't tell. What I'm saying? You can't tell a competitor to pull it back though.
So a family might have saved up a whole year to make it to the last game of the season.
Well, they should have knew better.
Here we go.
What are you looking for?
And all they could afford.
I'm afraid right now.
All they could afford.
That, bro?
All they could afford
Houston was
that one game, the last game of the season, because they were playing somebody like Charlotte Bobcats,
which the Bucks probably lose.
Okay, on the last game of the season, and that father is telling his son, "You might get to see Giannis play tonight.
No.
You're going to see Giannis play tonight." So how do you think that kid is going to feel when he sits in that seat and Giannis is sitting behind the bench and don't get up?
He's going to feel like this. He's going to feel like this.
Uh-oh.
I just want to see.
He's going to feel very disappointed. He's going to be hurt. And what he should do is turn to his left. Daddy, why the fuck you have me come to this game? And you knew Giannis was going to play.
Well, we do it.
Don't say it.
We were doing
Don't say it.
For 42 minutes, we were doing great without that explicit logo, but there it is.
Because,
waiting for it.
Because my thing is, I'm not saying I don't care, and I get where you're coming from, Kesey. I honestly get where you're coming from. But if this
sounded like a productive citizen today, Kesey just let this happen.
Because
running for office?
Because once he
Kesey for the teachers.
Because we trying to get a championship here. We are trying to get a championship in Milwaukee.
So you telling me him playing every game is going to be it's going to stop you from not having a championship if he don't play every game?
That's what you're saying. We're saying he needs to play.
I'm saying he needs to sit.
I said he needs to play.
He said he needs to play. Yeah, we're saying he needs to sit.
He needs to rest.
He needs to rest. We got the playoffs here.
If you're playing a scrub team, if you're playing
like Kawhi will sit if they're playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. You might care about that.
No, you're wrong. Kawhi will sit if it's back to back. It don't matter who that.
All right, that's a bad example.
Yeah.
LeBron James will sit.
Never done that.
Come on, man. You know Jordan.
That's different.
Yeah, you know Jordan do that. You know Jordan do that.
Listen, in fact, Indiana, remember they ejected Jordan and brought him back because he talked to the ref. They brought him back to the game after they ejected him. But what I'm saying is, to you guys' point, if the Bucks played the Pistons right now, the Pistons are number 15. And our coach, as terrible as he is, sat out Giannis, Holiday, and Middleton. Clap it up. Clap it up. Because you don't need your stars against a team that's 17.
And then on top of that, you want to see what the bench can do. I want to see what these bench guys can do.
You're saying that, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm saying that. If the Lakers played the Rockets, why is LeBron playing in that game?
Why not?
They're 14-42. What are they going to do?
Even if he just plays 4 minutes and a half, give them the fans what they came for.
Okay, so check this out. What if let's take out the Bucks out the equation. Let's talk about the Golden State Warriors, and you have Steph Curry. They need that guy for every single game.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I watched the game last night.
Now, hold on a second though.
That Warriors beat up, and he still went out there and put on a show.
But they're playing for something. They are playing for the playoffs. They are number 9. Hold up.
But hold on. Before you go any further.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day.
Go ahead.
Can you, anybody out there see the Golden State Warriors winning the championship this year?
No.
So what has Steph Curry got to prove that he ain't already proved about himself? Playing like he playing right now.
So I'm glad you mentioned all this. We're gonna move into a different. We're gonna move into a different. We're gonna do it. We're gonna take this and move this into a different segment because what you just said is very true here. Because Steph Curry just scored 53 versus the Nuggets. He passes up Wilt Chamberlain. He passes up Wilt Chamberlain and the Golden State Warriors scoring list. Obviously, Andre cares. I don't know if you care. Do you care, Kesey?
Kesey likes Steph Curry.
Shout out to Steph, man.
Shout out to Steph. And then he's also had 10 straight games of 30-plus. Nobody's done this since Kobe. For his age.
Say it again. He had what?
He had 10 straight games of like 30-plus. Nobody's done this since Steph Curry. Since Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. He's obviously a superstar. He's obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer. But is he a franchise player?
Slap yourself.
Is who a franchise player?
Steph Curry.
Slap yourself.
Have you not watched him play?
Man, I'm going to ask y'all this question again.
And listen.
I'm going to ask y'all this question again and rephrase it. Hold on a second. Y'all say, yes, he is. If the NBA was to have an all-out draft, everybody's available right now, where would Steph Curry be at?
Number 3.
Are you serious?
Number 3.
Above. So you talking about number 3?
Number 3.
So you saying
number 3?
Number 1 is LeBron.
Number 2?
Kevin Durant.
And he's number 3.
Steph Curry.
Above Kawhi Leonard.
Steph Curry.
Above James Harden?
Steph Curry.
Above Kyrie. That's
Steph
your board.
Curry. All day.
All day.
He is number 3. If I'm the GM with the number 3 pick, and we're picking players right now based on playing ability right now, Steph Curry is number 3.
Is Steph Curry, yes or no? Is he limited in what he can do?
No.
What?
No. You guys get caught up in the 3-point shot.
I'm not getting caught up in the 3-point shot. I'm getting caught up in he's 6'3", 200 pounds.
With 3 championships.
Don't sound like he didn't get it by himself. He didn't pull LeBron.
KD. They didn't need KD, though. KD came to them.
Hear what you said. They didn't need KD because Steph Curry needed Klay Thompson. Steph Curry.
That's not fair. No, he did not. The difference, America, the difference with the Golden State Warriors in their super team dynasty, they did not need KD. KD went to them. They drafted Steph. They drafted Klay. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
They drafted Klay. They drafted Draymond. The only free agent signing that was big before KD was Iggy. That was the only big free agent signing that franchise ever did.
And Iggy was the key to their piece to their championship.
He was a key, but he was not a superstar at the time. We talked about this on an earlier podcast. Go back and listen to it, Sports America. What I'm saying is that Steph Curry is a baller. He is a point guard that's not really a point guard. Steph Curry is a shooting guard by all accounts. But other than Kyrie and maybe Chris Paul, give me a point guard with better handles than Steph Curry.
I'm saying it.
Better handles?
Than Steph Curry, other than Kyrie and maybe Chris Paul. Chef Curry, they call him Chef for a reason because he's always cooking out there. Not just shots. He crosses over somebody practically every time he plays.
You don't think Dame Dollar got him?
No. Dame Dollar's a baller, but I don't think he has Steph. I don't think he has Steph.
I don't think he has Steph.
I don't think he has Steph.
Ooh, so it's close.
I don't think he has
I don't think he hasn't been shooting.
So,
but Dame Dollar can handle the rock.
So to answer your question, Steph Curry is a franchise player. Even this late in his career, you do not let Steph Curry walk away.
Golden State is in what position?
They're in number 9, and they also have the highest payroll in the NBA.
We didn't get there yet. We're not there yet. We're going to get there, but we're not there yet. But what I'm saying is we're talking about this franchise player tag here. We're talking about, because Steph Curry, because this is the same argument y'all give Luka. Steph Curry is in the bottom of the maybe getting into the playoffs. So again, I ask you, hold on a second though, because you're talking about LeBron, KD. Those guys are in fourth spot. But before LeBron got injured, he was in first spot.
Second. He was in first.
KD.
Lakers, but they're
KD before he got injured.
They're in 5.
First,
they're
second?
in 5.
They're first and second. Yeah, without LeBron. So when I ask you again, is Steph Curry a franchise player? Like, can you surround a team around Steph Curry?
Yes.
Or is he just entertaining to watch?
No, Luka's entertaining to watch. Okay.
They're in the same position. They're in the same position.
Mr. Tweet, build a team around Luka and he'll win a championship.
Listen, I'll tell you like this.
What?
The way Steph is playing right now, if Clay had even touched the floor with him,
it would have been over.
They would have beat. They'd have won all the games that they played.
It would have been over.
So, okay.
The way he's playing right now,
Steph has no help.
And he is hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it in his whole body language that he's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still playing, even though he knows he's not going to win a championship this year. That's the heart and determination I like to see.
Okay, so I agree with
that's what takes my respect for him to another level.
Steph should be an MVP candidate.
Stop it.
What?
So
what?
He's on a good streak right now, but he's not.
No, Steph has been balling all season, but the problem is he's been balling on a losing team. You better check his stats. Steph has been balling all season. Come on, y'all. Come on. Keep going.
Okay,
keep going.
So
keep leading us, brother.
He also shoots a lot of threes too. So
he shoots a lot of threes. So my thing is, okay, so Kesey, do you agree with your boy here?
Shoot a lot.
Do you agree with your boy here? Is he a franchise player?
Most definitely, he's a franchise player.
Draft.
If you don't think he's a franchise player,
uh-huh.
I'm gonna take you to the emergency room real quick.
Yeah, we're gonna vote you off your podcast.
What I'm saying
we're gonna put you off your show.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying he's not a franchise player.
Then what are you saying?
I'm saying that I wouldn't put him in that top 5 category.
Give me 5. Ooh.
I wouldn't put him in that top 5 category.
This is great because we have time.
Because
give me 4 players. We do. We're only at 51. We have time. Give me 5 better players than Steph Curry right now.
LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's been balling this year. Don't act like he hasn't been.
Oh, he's my pick for MVP before.
You know what? Some people, I'm almost in this category.
If you looking,
let him finish, please.
Hold on.
Milwaukee's own 2-time MVP, Giannis. Some people even say James Harden. So when you talk, because these guys have something that Steph Curry. That's what I was talking about. Like Steph Curry is 6'3", maybe 200 pounds.
That's fair.
All these guys
have
the length, have the athletic ability. These guys, they lead their team to where they're supposed to be at. So, hold on a second. Steph Curry, because you don't want a whole rant. Steph Curry is with the Golden State Warriors and at the bottom of the – I agree with you. If Klay Thompson was there, this would be a whole different ball game. But Klay Thompson isn't there. We're talking about what's going on right now. And what's going on right now is Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors are fighting for their lives to get in the playoffs. So
don't let him get in.
He's gonna get. He'll probably get in that playoff tournament.
I'll tell you right now.
There's a high probability. Depends on who they play. They might lose.
If Golden State get in at 8 and play Utah at 1, Utah might lose.
Now you're going too far.
Well,
now you're going too damn far.
We don't know the extent of Donovan Mitchell's injury.
He'll be out a couple of weeks, but you're right.
We're hoping. We don't know.
We don't know.
That's an ankle injury. Okay,
they can sit him out for the rest of the season, though.
LeBron does he have a high ankle sprain right now?
It's more severe. His was more severe.
It's severe, but he's been out for a minute. All I'm saying is
he's 37 years old.
All I'm saying is 37 years old. He spends $2.5 million a year on his body. Let's not act like you know what? Shut up.
How many people at 37 play like he played?
Shut up.
Tell me another player at 37 play.
Don't let him pull you in. Don't let him pull you in. Don't let him pull you in.
He already did. I'm going to defend LeBron. Because LeBron spends $2.5 million on his body. And now you want to talk about, he's 37. We don't be talking about that when he's an MVP candidate. We don't be talking about that then. All I'm saying, guys, is Steph Curry and Zeke did a great job of naming top 5. I don't know that I will pick any of them over Steph because Giannis, one of the things I liked about Giannis was they were going to, Jason Kidd at least was going to try him out as a point guard, right? To try to tap into some of that.
Yeah, I remember that dumb.
It doesn't have to be dumb because they're talking about doing it with Zion now, too. Another story for another day. LeBron plays point. Harden plays point occasionally. When him and Curry on the floor, Harden has the ball in his hand. in order to facilitate your basketball team to be competitive, you need a good point guard. That's why I'm picking Steph third, because you need a good point guard. Now that we have Holiday, Giannis, we're seeing MVP Giannis. Mm-hmm. We're seeing that again because Holiday has now found his place on that team. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm going with Steph 3. You can never pick anybody over LeBron.
I would never pick Steph 3.
Who are you picking over Steph? Besides LeBron and KD, 1 and 2.
We already know LeBron, KD, 1 and 2, right?
Who's number 3?
I definitely would go out to James Harden before him.
These are names I also said. Continue.
Okay.
I also would go after Giannis before him, like you said.
Okay.
One more.
Kyrie
over Steph?
I think I would. Offensively, with that ball in his hand, Kyrie, man, he's a killer. He's a killer. And if you can put him in the right system with the right players, they will not lose. Because it's a point guard you can depend on to get you a bucket when you need it.
I mean,
he's just like just like Steph, but they have different styles of play.
I actually think Kyrie handles are better than Steph.
They are better than
Steph.
Steph.
I mentioned earlier.
They are better than
Steph and Chris Paul probably are the best handlers of the
Kyrie probably has the best handles in the league.
Easily.
But, I mean, when you talk...
But I also will take Dame Dollar, too, though.
Over Steph?
Yes.
I don't see it, but...
I don't see it, but I it's hard to dispute it because Dame is so it's something of, I can't think of the word right now, but there's something about Dame that separates him from the pack. And I think besides his loyalty, besides his attitude, something about his ball handling and his skill is something. I'll say this about Steph. I'll say this. Steph is automatic.
MVP 2 times.
As soon as he crossed that half court, he's automatic.
NBA all first team.
Who?
I'm just
since
he's talking about
you talking about Steph stepping across the half court in his automatic. Dame Dollar has picked that up too.
He has picked that up too.
I mean, I'm talking
about Here's the difference.
Steph is doing a little stretching when he is. Dame is actually stepping up, taking jump shots right past half court. Now I'm like, are you serious? And he pulling up like it's a normal shot.
So back to the question: are you franchise tagging Steph Curry?
I will franchise tag Steph Curry. He is that good of a player. Yes. Yes or no?
Does Golden State move on?
Spit it out, or forever hold your peace.
No, you're not franchise tagging him.
No, not.
Well, we know he's not a real ball player anyway. So moving on,
guys. That's shade. You was getting that. Now that's shade.
Because
why aren't you franchise tagging the best player, one of the 50 greatest players of all time?
He's one of the greatest 50 players of. Steph is one of the 50 greatest players of all time. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He will probably go down as one of the greatest Warriors ever. But
probably the greatest.
He does have, when you talk about franchise and like surrounding the team around a guy, I think that he is he has some limitations, and some of those limitations is one of the things that's holding him back or holding me back. So that's my only hesitation with him. I don't have anything against Steph. I just see limitations there. Like LeBron, when you compare him to LeBron James and Kevin Durant, their limitations are few in between because they have literally led their team to the promised land. Not KD. I'm sorry, not KD, but LeBron James has literally carried his team
with
some scrubs to the promised land. So, and with Steph Curry being in the position that he's in, I think it's showing some of the limitations with Steph Curry. Now, going into what you just asked, what do the Golden State Warriors do with him because he is about to be a free agent coming into this offseason? What do you do with him? I think that's a bigger question for the Golden State Warriors. Like you talk about, like, do you tear it all down or blow it up, as they say, or do you keep your team that you have? Because no, they've added pieces, but we have yet to see that big three play together.
I'm gonna keep it 100. If I'm Steph,
yes, 1 year left. By the way,
I'm exploring my options.
You're taking your options too.
Well, he can't do that into 2022, though.
I know that,
but So you're saying you're taking your talents elsewhere?
Because I mean, I'm almost 100% sure on this.
Keep in mind,
and this might not be what everybody else thinks, but I think the Golden State Warrior days are over. Those glory days are over. They're going to be good. Don't get me wrong, but those glory days that they had when Steph and Clay were young, and Dre were young, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
So they will never get to that level that they were at. And it's hard to get to that level that they were at. They're getting older. They have more injuries. They got more things that they're losing capabilities on. Because Steph is nowhere near as quick as he used to be. If he was as quick as he was back when they was winning championships right now, Golden State Warriors wouldn't be losing no games.
And Steph Curry is owed $45 million. $45 million.
If I'm Steph, I get my 45 and then I say,
peace. And then when he becomes a free agent in 2022, he'll be 34. He'll be 34. So wherever he does, you're basically saying this Steph is likely entering his final contract.
Yeah.
I just want to.
And he won't get as big of a contract.
I just want to play something really quickly.
Steph is eligible for a contract extension this summer, and LeBron started recruiting him an All-Star break.
Yeah, but he might be playing for somebody else once the next contract's done.
Listen, man, I'm not denying. I'm just stating. I'm not taking a position.
That was off Brian Will Horse podcast or whatever. Y'all know how I get down with names.
Brian Horse, man.
Whatever.
Brian Horse, man.
Later for all that.
Go ahead.
LeBron James is recruiting Steph Curry? Are you serious right now?
Why not? I mean, everybody dog LeBron.
If LeBron James can pull Steph Curry from the Golden State Warriors, not only should he get MVP, he should get Executive of the Year. He should get Comeback Player of the Year. Every award should be just handed out to LeBron James because that is insane. That's insane.
Can you even imagine those two playing together?
I wouldn't want to see it as a basketball fan. I wouldn't want to see it. Because I like competitive sports. I mean, do y'all remember come on, bro.
But okay then. So
you remember how miserable
you're telling me you don't want to see the Brooklyn Nets then?
No, I don't. You remember how miserable we were when KD joined Golden State? We didn't even watch basketball.
I did.
I
caught the highlights.
I remember that. Number one, I remember that scene. That's when they went 73-9. And I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of games I didn't watch. They were blowing people out by like 30 and 40 points.
It was terrible.
Like these Negroes are sitting on the sideline on the bench. They over here doing flips and whatever,
water bottles
and all that. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Then you got Draymond running the huddles.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Them days is over for them though.
But no,
so that's goes to my point. There wouldn't be nothing wrong with prime Steph and on his way out LeBron. That would be a good mix.
I don't know.
Let me tell you something. I don't like it from a competitive standpoint, but. Like Dre said, like you said, I don't like it from a competitive standpoint, but just to see that transaction happen, that would be like that's bigger than LeBron going to Miami. That's bigger than Anthony Davis going to Los Angeles.
But just think of the matchup you would possibly see.
There's no matchup.
The Lakers with LeBron James and Steph Curry
better go undefeated
versus Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving and KD. Think about it. They both got each other's former teammates.
I mean, they
meet in the finals. How would that finals look?
Lopsided. Listen here, man.
No, that would be something to see.
That would be a sight to see.
That would be a sight to see.
So you're saying
you're endorsing the idea of Steph joining LeBron and Anthony Davis?
Of course he is. What are you talking about?
And Andre Drummond? So here's the thing.
At least Andre Drummond ain't part of this.
Wait a minute. The Lakers have 3 max contracts. To offer before they go into.
You know how LeBron get down. He will take less.
He will take less, but I think he also realizes that his career is winding down as well.
Oh, he has a goal though. He has a goal.
But that's why they're signing these short year deals so that they can make these adjustments.
The fact that LeBron James is recruiting Steph Curry is you have 2 guys who are willing to take less money to get to the promised land. Going back to Kesey's point, I believe that the Golden State days, they're over with. Klay Thompson will not return as he was before.
And that's unfortunate, but I don't disagree with either of you. I think LeBron's goal, and we don't know this, but I bet in his mind, if he can just get 6 titles, he'd be good. Match ball.
If he gets it like this, he won't be part of that discussion.
Well, I think it's too late because people already ride him for doing what he did. People already say it's not as important. I think LeBron is over that. In fact, LeBron has said on many occasions, I don't care what people say. I want to recruit players to play together. He said that on many occasions. I want to play with my friends. I'm surprised Carmelo hasn't made his way to LA yet.
Because Carmelo about that cash, man.
Yeah.
Carmelo ain't trying to take no veteran minimum.
I'm
Carmelo's still looking for another contract. And that's where that's at.
And I don't know his contract status. I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron tries to recruit Chris Paul to the Lakers.
No.
You don't think so?
No. Those days are over.
Because Steph Curry still got so much left in the tank, and he doesn't have enough to win a championship. Chris Paul is probably much on his way out the door. Like, he's got about maybe a couple more years left. I think he's done. But this has been another very interesting episode of the 94 Feet Podcast. I'd like to thank my brothers again, Kesey in the building, and Dre.
I appreciate my good people.
This was a very debatable show, man. I hope that we're still friends after this because we had a lot of difference of opinions today, brother.
I mean, that's what makes us friends, the difference in opinions, and plus, apparently, now we got a podcast, so I gotta like you.
Apparently, we gotta like each other now.
Oh yeah. Check us out on Spreakers, Google, Apple, Spotify, now on iHeartRadio, Deezer. Like us on social media at 94FT Podcast. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Agree with us? Probably not.
Been one.
Peace, my good people.
Peace.
94 feet.
94 feet.